Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Newton Silas and I'm here with Nancy Grace, and today guys we have a very interesting video to react to by Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, and a Christian asks, why did God allow black people to suffer like this? Okay, I believe this is going to be a very interesting video. So guys, if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion. This is basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this video we all are going to learn from it. So guys, let's get down to the video and see if God created black people to suffer.
Why we hear that, and the Bible tells us that God created a man, and so we have a different nation here, population here. So now, why did God allow blacks to be suffer?
Now I will explain that. You see, the creation is a creation of God. But mankind, he creates his own standards of judging. Like for example, we are told by certain groups of churches that the black people of the earth are the children of Ham. You see, Noah, you heard the name Noah, after the flood. In the Genesis chapter 9 you read, Noah, after the flood, him and his three sons, Sam, Ham and Japheth, they started growing grapes. And from the fruit of the vine, they fermented the wine. And Noah drank too much. And he was lying naked. I'm reading this from the book of Genesis chapter 9. And out of his three sons, Sam, Ham and Japheth, Ham saw his father's nakedness. Sprawled out on the ground naked. And it was a big joke for him. So he laughed. Who laughed? Ham. You know how you spell Ham? H-A-M, Ham. Ham. H-A-M, Ham, you also spell for that piece of pig. See? You know the Englishman, he loves ham and eggs. Ham and eggs. How do you spell ham? That's right. So this person's name was Ham, one of the sons of Noah. His name was Ham. And he saw his father's nakedness and he laughed. Big joke. The other two sons, they felt remorse, ashamed of the father's condition. So they took a piece of cloth and they walked backwards and they covered up the father. The father, in the meantime, he knew what was going on, but he was too dead drunk to do anything about it. But when he came into his senses, he began to curse. And you remember the curse? He said, "Cursed be Canaan, for a servant of servant thou shalt be unto thy brother." You attend Bible class, don't you? You remember this? "Cursed be Canaan, for a servant of servant thou shalt be unto thy brother." So they tell us in a system, they say that we black peoples of the earth are the children of Ham. That fellow who behaved like a pig, laughed at his father's nakedness. So as such, we are to become the hewers of wood and the drawers of water. So they want to see to it that you keep to your role. Your role is sweep the streets, carry the rubbish bin, work in the factories, whatever. This is your menial labor, that is your destiny. Now this is the invention of man. See, man's own invention. God didn't make you so. He, as we are told, that he made us in his image. He made everybody upright. He says, "He, the Lord, had made man upright." Upright means straight, going straight. So the invention of man, the devilishness in man, is finding excuses to how I can discriminate against you, create theories, weave stories, fairy tales, and around these fairy tales I find justification for keeping you down. Now the Holy Quran, this book of God, the Quran, our religious book, it gives us an explanation of the theory of race. And I would like you to judge whether it answers the problems of mankind or not. It says, and I'm quoting in Arabic the original, and I give you the translation. It says, "Ya ayyuhan nas," say, "O mankind, the whole of mankind, whether Africans, Indian, Chinese, Eskimo, everybody. Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa unsa. It is we, God Almighty says, we who have created the male and the female. We have created you all of a single pair, a male and a female. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلًا. And it is we who have made you into nations and tribes. What for? To discriminate against one another? No. It's لِتَعَارَفُوا, that you may recognize one another. This Mr. John is a Zulu, that Mr. John is a Xhosa, that Mr. John is a Swazi, that Mr. John is an Englishman, that Mr. John is a Frenchman, that Mr. John is a German. For the purpose of recognition, he has made you into nations and tribes. But since man has a sickness of wanting to discriminate on false premises, so God Almighty gives us the standard. We all have a tendency to behave like that. All. There is no exception. There is no nation on earth who is an exception to this rule, that everybody wants to create standards of judging other people as inferior to themselves. You said the African just now, and I accept that the African is, in the South African context, he is at the lowest rung of the ladder. Economically, educationally, in the professions, he is at the bottom rung. That we have to agree. But now among the Africans, we have Zulus. I was questioning the students. I says, are you all Zulus? The majority were. Some said no, she is a Xhosa. Somebody said something, Chwana. But now the majority of the people that are here in this institute are Zulus. Am I right? Right. Now ask the Zulu. Ask the Zulu, what is Zulu? Izulu. What does it mean? Izulu. The heavens. No? Izulu. You are the heavenly people. Izulu. Yes, that's in your mind. Izulu, we are the topmost people. Among the Africans, who is the greatest tribe? The warrior nation, the topmost nation? Your title, the name, your name of your race is also Zulu. Agunjalo? Izulu. And what about the others? What do the Zulu say? Isilwane. Am I right? What does it say about the others? The Xhosa, the Swazi, the Chwana. What are they? Isilwane. No, this is the nature of man. Everybody. The Arab said, I'm the Arab. Means we are the eloquent people, and the rest of the world is ajam, meaning dumb. The Jews said we are the children of God, and the rest of them are Gentiles. You know, Jews and Gentiles. What is Gentile? Means unclean, filthy, dirty people. All the rest of the world uncircumcised, filthy, dirty people. This is the nature of man. Every human being on earth, whether he's an Indian, whether he's a European, whether he's an Englishman, he feels better than the German. The German feels he's better than the French, and the French feels he's better than the Italian. So this is the nature of man. So God Almighty, He gives us a standard. See, since man has the sickness of creating false standards for himself, this Creator, God Himself, He gives us a standard of judging between people. And the judgment is, it says, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. So most certainly, the noblest in the sight of God is he who is the best in conduct. Not good or bad, not rich or poor, not black or white, but the best in conduct. If your behavior is better for mankind than mine, you are a better person. If my behavior is better than yours for mankind, then I'm a better person. It has got nothing to do with your race, your language, your color, or your riches. This is the standard as given by God Almighty in the Holy Quran, standard of judging between one and another. Your behavior, your conduct, your good behavior. Any other question?
Oh, that's a very interesting video to know why did God created black people to suffer. And according to Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, he makes references to the children of Noah. He talks about when Noah became drunk, and then from there he was naked, and then when Ham saw Noah, he laughed in a stand over it. And then when Noah, came back to, you know, he was, that drunkenness in a sense was not there. From there, he ended up causing him. So it means that we black Africans, we are, is it a cause from God? Which I do not totally believe in it, because when you look at Africa, for instance, the black precisely in the sub-Sahara, I would not like to mention some of the countries per se, but you bear with me that some European countries, which I will still not mention a name, will be taking let's say 50% of their export, for instance. So imagine as a nation and then another country, because maybe they colonize you or whatever, and then from there they exploit you, take your resources back to their country, and then allows that country to remain underdeveloped. How do you expect that kind of country to flourish? How do you expect that country to experience meaningful development? So you got to realize that it is some of us who are actually problem of ourselves. I could see it that the black people suffer for lack of leadership, and not because the cause of no to him. Because when you look at it, it's not even the whole Africans that kind of even believe in existence of God, because most of the Africans, they believe in gods. They have some images that they worship. Those are some of the things that the traditional Africans were worshiping. So all this Christianity and Islam, these are religions that we have brought into Africa. So to say that this is what happened and this is the reasons why they suffer, I think is not that accurate. And I don't think that God will created us as human to come here to get exploited by some set of people, and then we call it that this is what happened during the Noah's time is the reason why we are going through what we are going through. No. A country don't have to exploit people, because when you exploit them, how do they expect them to survive with the 50% of their export, for instance? And then in exchange of that, you see some of these countries who says, okay, we are coming to help this country with an aid, we're going to bring so $1 million. Like, but if you look at the resources, then some of the natural resources that has been exploited in that country is way far more than what they are actually helping the country in terms of aid. You know, it's not really helping matters. You could see that in a sense at the cause of it. You could see some of the European countries printing currencies and determining exchange of some certain countries in the sub-Saharan. So how do they expect such a countries in a sense to progress? So we don't have to blame that on God and says because of this is what happened. God never created us to suffer. They are just exploiting Africa, and out of lack of leadership, and the little ones that are there, the leaders, they are just as very corrupt, and then taking some of the resources that they're supposed to use to benefit their people, go to the Western countries, invest in it, or put it in their banks, whereas in their country, in a sense, everybody is suffering. So I just see it as lack of leadership, and some of the Western countries, or should I say European countries, they need to just stop exploiting the Africans so that they can be able to experience meaningful development. But then Nancy, let's hear from you. You know, why did God created black Africans to suffer?
Very interesting video.
Yeah.
But I must say that God did not create Africans to suffer. My own opinion that God created us in His own image, like Sheikh Ahmed Deedat said. He did not create us. God have really blessed us. He created us like Him Himself. He created us like Him Himself. He have blessed all nations with a lot of resources. He have blessed individual. He have deposited something in us that when we use it, we will make use of that. We may make use of our gift. So what we need is to go back to God, that He will direct you and I. We can be able to make use of our gifts and be a blessing. So I don't believe in it. This is just my opinion that God have blessed Africans, He have blessed nations. As apostles say, if all African nations or the leaders can, I don't know, He have blessed all nations. This is just what I need to say, but it's just the wickedness of men, the wickedness of some leaders in African nations. I think if we can have good leaders that can lead us, I think we have a lot of resources in Africa that can help all nations, that can help us to move forward, so that can be a blessing to our lives. So,
you know, when we talk about some of these resources, there is no natural resources that we do not have in Africa. You know, to talk about, is it to talk about petroleum? Is it to talk about, you know, the crude? We have a lot of crude, right? We have a lot of natural resources, being it gold, we have manganese, aluminium, you know, they are just there. This deposit of this, they are just there. So why do we still suffer? You get the point. Why do we still suffer? It's just lack of leadership and how some countries are exploiting us. That is just the reason why innocent Africans are suffering. And I believe that this has never been a plans of God. But this is the situation we just find ourselves. But then anyway, we just believe that someday we're going to change the narrative. Of course, we have to stand up and speak for ourselves and says that, no, look, this is Africa and this is what Africa is supposed to be known for. People should not look at Africa and see it as a place that is underdeveloped, because out of the shall I say 55 or shall I say 56 countries here in Africa, how many of them are developed? Shall I say 1 or 2? Maybe you just mentioned South Africa, then which country again? What happened to the rest? They are just there, you understand, being underdeveloped. And why are they underdeveloped? Lack of leadership and exploitation from other European or shall I say Western countries, you understand, in Africa, with some of their activities and some of the I don't know, shall I say the trade, you understand, they are actually doing. It does not favor Africa, and that is why Africans are actually suffering, and not that because of this is what God plans for them. So guys, this is the end of our video. If you like our reaction, you should like, share and subscribe, and if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm gonna check it out. So guys, remain blessed.